Okay, here we go. World of Warships, and I am driving my Tier 8 Japanese destroyer, the Kagero, and we are on the Okinawa map in a domination game, and it's reasonably good matchmaking. A couple of Tier 9 on each team. Well, 3 Tier 9s on each team. Sorry, 4 Tier 9s on each team. And then the rest are primarily Tier 8s and 7s. So, anyway, the plan, or my plan right here, is to go ahead and move very aggressively into the B zone with the secondary, well, the primary goal, of course, of capturing it, but the secondary goal of at least getting some early spots and maybe chasing the enemy team off of the B point. But of course, you know, I'm going to drive straight. I'm going to take the most direct route into position here, and then as I get into the cap circle, I'm turning to the right, and my plan is to slide over there behind that island there, and well, tuck in and hide if necessary. But I happen to spot the enemy Udaloi out there, and I'm looking for a torp drop on him. Don't get it. Well, don't get the angle on because he's dropping smoke, but I'm positive he's slowing down, or at least at the very least he's going to make a sharp turn. And I do not want to get too close to that Udaloi. The Kagero is a good ship when you're torping things, but it's not really something you want to take into a gunfight. So, anyway, now you also notice I have RPF up, and that's telling me the direction, the rough direction to the closest target. And I'm not sure, 100% sure if that's the cruiser that I just spotted there, or if it's the Udaloi. But I go ahead and put a couple of torp drops out on a wide spread there, into the smoke, on the on the not unreasonable assumption that I might be able to get a blind hit. And you notice the torps are tracking pretty close to where that blind fire is, to where that concealed fire is coming from. And there we go. I got a hit on something. And since my torps are back up, I had activated the torp reload consumable. Torps are back up. I'm going to go ahead and drop another set of torps just to see if I get lucky again. And I'm just going to stay in the B zone and use that to, well, basically control the center of the map here. My spotting, the range at which I will be detected is let's take a look here. I think it's 5.4 kilometers. Yeah, 5.4 kilometers. And I can pretty much...
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
I can pretty much spot anything I need to before I will be spotted myself. So, yeah, definitely worth those blind fires into the smoke. And right now, I am on my own and capping. So let that be a lesson to you out there, why you don't just want to sit in the smoke, especially if you are taking a torpedo hit, because you just don't know what's gonna happen. So anyway, a lot of enemy ships here, and the thing I am most worried about, at least at this point, is that Myoko right there. And well, my spotting him has, and the fire that he's taking from friendlies has got him moving away from the cap, so I should be able to cap down the ooh, he just took a good hit, and there he goes. So anyway, I should be able to cap Bravo, and in fact, there we go. So, looking for, I hesitate to say my next victim, because, well, yeah, okay, yeah. It makes me sound a little too cocky, I guess. But I'm looking for the next target, and right now I'm looking at that Pensacola right there, and I'm thinking, you know what? He may make a run past this gap here, so it's certainly worth putting some torps out. And if he keeps going that direction, but no, right after I drop the torps, I notice that he's turning away, and you can't see it because of the replay glitch. It's not going to show. It's not going to show the target track indicator, but the Pensacola, well, he'd done a 180 from what he was doing down there, and those torps just completely missed. So at this point, now I've got another, well, just over a minute for my torps to reload, and I'm looking for another target. So I'm just going to sail around in a nice, safe serene, calm circle and figure out who I want to drop on. I'm looking at that Alabama there, but he's not moving at quite the right angle, and also it looks like he's starting to turn away from me anyway. And we just lost a couple of ships, so now we're actually down slightly. The Friedrich der Grosse there, he's coming into range. But I've got 30 seconds left on the cooldown. And actually, Freddy there is swinging around and making a move directly towards me. Now, I am using the RPF to keep, kind of help keep an eye on what is the closest thing to me. Closest enemy to me. But unfortunately, fortunately, I can see everything that's going on. So, trying to figure out the best angle I want to take for the torp drop on the Frederick, and I am just about up, and this looks like a good spot here. So I drop one set, drop the other set slightly behind, and let him run. Now, I do have, see if I can get it to come up. It may not want to come up. Okay, I do have torpedo acceleration on this captain, and these would normally be 10 kilometer torps, but they're down to 8. But since they're down to 8, I get a lot more speed out of them, and the Frederick is about to eat a couple of them. And he's going to take, well, he's going to take a lot of abuse from my team as well. So now he is starting to push up into the cap, and he actually took down our Neptune, but at this point he's just got way too much attention being paid to him, and he is going to take, well, he's going to take a lot more damage than he probably wants to take. Now, again, it looks like he's just inside the, he might be just inside the cap circle. It's hard to tell from this particular angle. Yeah, they're starting to cap it. Oh, so we're not picking up points for it, but that's okay. And again, I'm just sailing around, just staying just outside of visual range, but definitely inside of torp range. And I got about just a few more seconds before my torps are up. And he's down, which is good. So good on our Iowa and the rest of the team for taking him down. But now we've got something else going on. We've got this Izumo, and he is sitting. Well, he's doing what an Izumo does. He's sitting there and bow tanking and just drifting back and forth. But you know what? If he's within, well, if he's as close to me as he is, certainly worth me putting. Even though this is a bad angle to drop from, it's certainly worth me to put a couple sets of torps out on him. So I immediately activate my torp reload consumable, and now I'm looking at this Amagi out here and thinking, I wonder what I can do to get a drop on him. And oh, by the way, let's take a quick look and see if this is a good drop on the Izumo. And, well, looks like it is. Don't know how many hits I'm going to get. Well, one's enough. So, the Amagi is making the run back towards the B point. Looks like he's going to try to get himself less isolated. So I put one set of torps out, and then a second set of torps out between those two islands there. He might think he's in good. He might think he's safe. May or may not choose to dodge. Is what I was thinking. But sure enough, right after I drop, he decides he's going to make like a Ferrari and start dodging and weaving. So another wasted drop there. Unless he cuts back hard, it's just not going to happen. So I'm in the C point, and I spot the Udaloy out there again. And you know what? Just let him do his thing, because I am not going to try to go one-on-one with an Udaloy. Not in this ship. There might be some other stuff. If he was lower health, maybe I would. Actually, if he was lower health, I probably would. Simply because I can get in there, get an ambush off, and get the first couple of shots off. But it would have to be a very very careful thing. So anyway, the Udaloy, even though I've got him spotted, he's going ahead and capping C, and now he's not spotted any longer. And but on the other hand, the Neptune that's behind us looks like he's going to go try to flush out that Udaloy, and that's going to let me run pretty much amok among the enemy battleships out here. So now the Okinawa map is an interesting one because you've got two open water cap zones, and then the third one, the A point, which is on the other side of the island, it's physically isolated from the rest of the map. So the cruisers with the high arcs can get over there and just start lobbing shells in, but I don't see that happened. So anyway, put one set of torps out, and I think the drop was on the Gneisenau. And somehow I suddenly get detected, and I had just started to slow down. And I'm like, oh crap, okay, who spotted me? And it was the Akizuki out there. So I activate my engine boost, do a 180, get my engine taken down, start gunning it, and you notice I am not shooting. I am just trying to run from, well, run as fast as I can from the Akizuki, because he can take me out in a gunfight, but more importantly, he's got me spotted for his friends. And that drop I made on, well, I think it was the Alabama. Was it the Alabama? Yeah, it was the Alabama. Well, that paid off as well. So, good handful of torps. Both good handful of torps, 2 good salvos, 1 kill, and did some damage to the Alabama. Now, the thing is with that Alabama, he's got that awesome torpedo belt, and you can see that even though I put 3 hits on him, he's not even down to half health yet, and he's actually repairing some of that damage, it looks like. So anyway, what he's doing, on the other hand, is making a turn back to his port, and he's swinging around at an angle that's going to give me a lovely, a lovely torp broadside, a lovely broadside to shoot my torps at. And this is looking like it might be a good drop. If I remember correctly, it is a good drop. And sure enough, he's going to go right in front of him. 3 hits. Took him way down, 2 floodeds. And, well, there's the high caliber award. And he's got 2 floods going on. He's taking some fire from some others, from some of my friendlies. And 1 more tick does it for him. So again, I'm looking around, trying to figure out what's a good target for me to approach, and the best way to approach it. And I've got 40 seconds for my reload, so this is going to give me more than enough time to set up my run. So, and I can't remember what I was doing at this point. I can't remember if it was going after the Pensacola or the Amagi, but I know one thing I was getting ready to do was thinking, I might be able to get me a crack in here, because that was 4 kills. And I was getting ready to start shooting at the Akizuki, but nope, didn't happen. So, let's see. All right, yeah, it looks like I am going after the Amagi, and the Amagi's got to know I'm out here. He's got to know that I'm just, sailing around, not in circles, but, well, anyway, what does he do? He's taking fire from my friendlies, and I can see his angle. So I put 1 narrow spread of torps out, 1 wide spread of torps out, just to hedge my bets. And I did take into account the excuse me. I did take into account the fact that he was turning, and that was going to change my target. And I got a little too close there. I'll admit that. But you know what?
Problem solved, sir.
It doesn't really matter because, well. So with that, let's take a look at the post-game stats. Yeah, I was pretty pleased with that performance overall. 535,000 credits earned, 6,400 experience. I picked up a high caliber, the Kraken, the First Blood, and the Devastating Strike. Yeah, 187,000 damage done with 16 torpedo hits. No gunnery at all. Well, 16 torpedo hits and some flooding. So, no gunnery at all. So yeah. Anyway, going to the next. Yeah, going to the next one. I'm looking at the WoW replay site. They've changed things up a little bit, but going to the next one here. Top of the team list, 2,700 base experience. Our Neptune did a good job himself. The enemy team, they never really gelled, and I kind of have to put that on the fact that, well, they didn't want to push into the Bravo zone, either because I was there, and they were worried about getting torped, or alternately because I just had such good fire support from my team. So yeah. Anyway, like I said, 187,000 damage caused. 179 of that from torpedoes, and the last 8,000 from the flooding. I think the excuse me. I think the Alabama took the worst of that. So overall, pretty good. And I only took a little bit of damage, but again, that was in the last case when I was going after the Amagi, that was damage I shouldn't have taken. But looking at this again, I had a premium account because I finished the campaign, so 444,000 credits profit on that, and then experience 8,700. Or excuse me, 6,400 experience, 1,200 base experience, or 1,200 free experience, and 8,700 experience for the commander. So my commander's just pushing right on up. So anyway, so the Kagero, it's a really good ship. I like it. I have not yet unlocked the next one in the tech tree. But I'm grinding through this one pretty comfortably, I'd have to say. But in this particular match, I was able to take advantage of its strengths, and really, again, I was able to use the Kagero and its strengths to keep the bad guys out of B, and as a result, we pretty much dominated the center of the map here, and that I think is really what ran this one in our favor. I was just able to get in here and stay here. They did not really have an effective counter to me. Now the Akizuki could have countered me, but he was, if you again take a look at the mini map there, he was running around in the A point, and by the time he was able to actually get back over to take me on, it was just a little too late. So anyway, with that, I hope you enjoyed the replay, and I guess I will talk to you later. Bye.